Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is another big day. We're going to be picking up another brand new build. Perhaps something to go well with the Camaro. It's a little hint right there. But speaking of the Camaro, I was able to track down a wiring harness luckily. It is a no-code part, so they have no idea when it's going to come in. They said it could take maybe a few days or it could take a long time. So I'm just hoping that it comes in quickly. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to place the order for that part. And I'll keep an eye out for something on the secondhand market, and hopefully we just get that harness quickly. So as for now, we do have a harness on order. So that's great right there. That's good news. That means this car has the last piece of the puzzle to be fully put back together. And as for the BMW, that car is also waiting for a few parts. It'll be done very soon too. So it's about time we get a new build. So let's go to the Copart and let's pick up this new build. Alright guys, so we made it here to the second home, Copart that is. And the feeling is like starting to set in. Like we're about to pick up the brand new build for the channel. I'm gonna see if I can catch it coming out the door. I'm like stuttering. My words are like stuttering. Like I can't even speak. Like I'm too excited for this right now. And if you guys remember, the first build on this channel was a Chevrolet Malibu. Oh, how far we have come. The next build is about to come through those doors right there. It's gonna be absolutely sick. Wait until you guys see it. All right, guys. I just looked back there in the lot and I actually see the new build. Right there's the new build. All right guys, they're grabbing it right now. Super sketchy loading it from the bottom. All right, guys, it's here. Thank you, man. Dude. Oh, we got the rag too. All right, guys. Well, I can't believe it, honestly, dude. Guys, this is gonna be a super sick car. Definitely to accompany the Camaro. I don't know if I used that word right, but I don't care. Check that out, guys. Got that kitty. They took the badges and they also took the key. There's so much cool stuff to check out on this car. And we basically know most of the hidden damage on this car because we actually did come look at it. So this car is not sight unseen. And I'm super glad we did come look at it because there was one big major thing wrong with this car that luckily we were able to resolve. I can't believe it, honestly. Dude, this is sick. This thing's gonna need a nice, good detail.
We're gonna clean it today, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Super.
They did a good job loading it.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job. It's gonna be a sick kitty. Guys, it's crazy. So here's some suspension damage that we got over here. The subframe looks fine. They took the bolt out. Luckily, we did go to the auto store. We picked up this bolt just so the suspension wouldn't be under any kind of pressure. We can put it on. So hopefully we can get this in place and tow it safely. All right, guys, check this out. Oh, snap. 707 horses. Obviously, this engine looks bad, but we looked at all that. All right, guys, I'm getting like pelted right now. That's what's happening right now. So I'm gonna go ahead, strap this car up, and then if it's not this at the shop, we're gonna clean this thing up. So let's go. All right, guys, I strapped the whole thing up, got the security straps in. Now let me show you something on how to get this car into neutral. So these cars get stolen pretty frequently. Well, right under here, they make it very obvious.
Oh, it is there.
And there, now it's a neutral.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, guys, so we got it back home. There's the engine looking super nice. We got the front bumper right here. This bumper right here is a bit scratched up. If you wanted to, you could save that, but we'll probably just upgrade this with a special modification in the future. Is that the window sticker?
No, it's his bank statement.
Oh, it's a bank statement?
See how much money this guy had.
All right, guys, here's the front of the car. definitely in need of a good detail. They left both windows down, so it got pretty dirty in here. The glove box, we got owner's manuals. That's always nice, and whatever that is, I don't want to touch it right now. But coming into the back seats, got clothes and other stuff. Looks like someone almost lived back here, but let's go ahead and empty all this stuff out of the car and see what it looks like when we're done. Yeah, get that steering wheel cover off.
Let's take that off, man. Get off that SRT,
ugly, man. Oh, that looks so much better. The perforations, get that out of here. Just off. Stuff leaves some nasty residue behind. Dude, let's get a garbage bag. What the ew? Oh, shoot my phone. There's a lot of garbage in here, or just mud. It's like super dirty in here. It's gonna take probably a good bit to get this all clean. So, but at least the carpet has like a protective cover on it. But let's get some gloves, because I really don't want to touch any of this stuff without any gloves. And let's see how spotless we can get this interior. Maybe we can't get it that looking great right now, but at least we can touch it up a little bit. So let's do it. All right, guys, I got my glove on. Let's see what kind of trash we got in here. Just clean it all up. This car's in desperate need of a good detail. What is this? Oh, nice. The mirror. Oh, I almost tripped. Little insert for the front bumper headlights. Let's see what we got. Oh my god. What? Why do you need so many socks? Gosh. What's this? Let's see, we got this. Nice little ring. Whatever that is. This is just awfully disgusting. Just gonna roll that all up into the floor mat and then throw it all away at once in the garbage bag. This is all just socks. It's a very nice assortment of socks, though. Yeah, it's a sock salesman or something. What the heck is this? Plutonium?
Oh, that's for, I read that. That's a rechargeable phone holder. It's a phone charger holder.
Oh, yeah. What is this? Oh, gosh. Don't look in there.
What is it?
I don't know. I don't know why we keep looking at these things.
It's just you.
What is this? Oh, it's oh, this is a part for the mirror. Put that up there. Oh, gosh, so many socks, man. Dude, it's filled with socks even all the way under the seat.
I don't know what it is with this guy. This dude literally has a whole
So many socks. Keep them coming.
There's so many different kinds of colors.
It's like never ending.
Sizes and
look,
shapes of socks.
you just put your hand under the seat and you just pull out so many more.
There's more.
Alright guys, so it's starting to get dark out, so we will continue cleaning tomorrow in the morning. Alright guys, so it is the next day here, and the interior is actually looking pretty good. All we did was just vacuum it a little bit and just give it a little bit of a wipe down with all-purpose cleaner and dust some stuff off. But it's far from perfect right now. We're still going to steam clean it, extract some areas on the seats, on the carpets, just get this thing looking brand new again. But before we do all of that, we have to get this thing pulled into the garage, and we already got it taken off of the trailer and on some wheel dollies. But before we can roll it into the garage, we have to actually take it off of the wheel dolly so it could roll in there smoothly, because this thing does not run, because it does not have a key, but more on that later. So what we have to do now is it seems to be a super easy fix. Basically just taking this bolt and, you know, jacking the car up a little bit, moving the wheel out, and just sliding the control arm back into place, and then it should just roll a lot smoother, because it'll go in the garage a lot smoother on all four wheels rather than dollies. So let's just get this bolt swapped out and put in there, and hopefully everything goes well. So let's do it. so I noticed something here in the suspension corner. So first thing is, these calipers will probably have to get re-clear coated because it seems like maybe some brake fluid or something got on them and took the clear coat right off. But that's not that big of a deal. But over here in the suspension area, I thought that only this control arm needed to be popped into place. We were going to replace it, obviously, because the bushings were all toasted. But yeah, other than that, we were just trying to get it on so we could transport the car a little bit easier. So this tie rod right here, it is bent pretty good. So the tie rod will probably have to be replaced. Everything else looks good. So I was trying to pop this in, but it looks like when the old bolt snapped and broke, it actually caused this right here to kind of come at an angle, pushing this area in just a little bit. So I'm hoping that this can actually be straightened out pretty well, because nothing is cracked or broken. It's just tweaked. There's no kinks or anything under there. So I'm hoping that that can just be straightened out to let this control arm come in a little bit, and hopefully this goes in. So right here we have the Hellcat, and right here we have the SS1LE. This car is super sick. Both of these cars side by side. Super sick. This is probably the best angle right now. That looks super sick. So let's go ahead and put the Hellcat in the garage. Alright guys, so we got the Hellcat in the garage. We swapped it out with the Camaro, and it was actually really hard to push this thing in here. But we finally got it done, and it even started raining. But luckily the car's in here, so now we can start working on it. Alright guys, so before we get started on taking this apart and showing all the damages, we're first going to try to pair a brand new key to this car, which it's technically not brand new. It was previously paired to another vehicle, but before we order another one, I'm willing to try to see if this one will make it work, because why not? We have it here, so it might work. So let's go ahead, get the Auto. Let's see if we can get this key paired to this car. Alright guys, so unfortunately I was not able to get the key programmed today. Apparently you need some sort of a verification pin code. It says right here, need some sort of a pin code for the car. Did some research, found out that there's only two places to get that pin code. One is like becoming a registered locksmith or something. And then the next one is to contact the dealership, and either they'll give you the pin code if you have previously bought the key from them, or they will sell it to you for some bit of money. The dealerships are already closed, so I'm going to see tomorrow, and hopefully we can get that pin code. But if we get that pin code and the key still doesn't pair, then we know that this is a bad key, and we'll order another one. Then we should have a nice key for this car, and we'll be ready to crank this thing and see what it sounds like. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about all the damages up there. So on the interior, it's relatively pretty clean in here. We just have this seat airbag blown and that seat airbag blown right there. And then the curtain airbags too that are tucked up away right now. Luckily, the dash and the steering bag are okay, because I'm pretty sure those are a pretty penny. But other than that, everything in this interior is super nice. The leather is definitely going to need a good condition. But other than all the blown airbags, this car still needs a very good clean. We need to get all the dirt out of all the Alcantaras, and then all the little nooks and crannies that have a little dirt in them. We're going to get all that out with the steam cleaner. And if the carpets or the seats are stained, we're going to extract them. But first, we're going to try some all-purpose cleaner and some leather conditioner, and just try to get this interior looking brand new. But now, let's turn our attention to the exterior damage. So starting off the exterior damage with the driver's side door, obviously this thing took a pretty good hit right here. The mirror got knocked off, but luckily we do have the mirror. It seems to be in one piece and might be repairable. I'm not sure. I think it got a little bit broken, but maybe you might be able to just buy that little mount piece and fix it. Not too sure about that, but we'll find out soon. Then obviously right here, this fender took an even bigger hit. Got hit the entire way throughout. The old owners even took the Hellcat badge, and they even took the Dodge emblem in the rear. Then of course over here you have the supercharger, but we'll get back to that later. This headlight fell out, but luckily it's not damaged, and the bracket isn't even broken either. It's just a little bit warped, so I'm sure we can fix that. This headlight is completely fine. Everything else up here is pretty good. All these plastics are good. This one's just a little bit cracked. Over here on this fender, we got a little bit of a buckle, but I'm pretty sure we can just hammer that out a little bit and then put some glazing putty on it, make it look brand new. Also took the Hellcat logo on this side. This door over here is completely fine. Nothing wrong with this side right here. The pillar here is fine. The roof. The hood is 99% okay. It just has a very little bend right here that I'm sure with the hammer and a dolly can straighten that out pretty well. And then I almost forgot right here on the A-pillar. got a fair bit of damage, but I'm pretty sure this is all repairable, but we won't know until we try. It looks like that the body shop this went to, they were going to try to fix it too because they said that they were going to blend it. Or maybe they were going to splice it and then blend it. I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely going to try to fix this. So in the process of getting this car, we definitely took a ride on the emotional roller coaster, and I'll explain why. So as soon as we got on the roller coaster, we come over here, we look at the engine, and boom, the entire engine is dry. No oil in the entire engine, and that gave us a little bit of a scare. No oil.
Really?
I hope it's not seized. So at that point, when we saw that there was no oil in the engine, we thought that this car was a bust and there was no chance that we could get this with the seized motor because these motors are really expensive. But we weren't going to give up there yet. So we went ahead, we went to the hardware store, we picked up a breaker bar and some sockets, and we gave the engine a crank.
Dude. Dude, it just needs oil.
Somehow, with some miracle, with no oil in the engine, I guess nobody started this car without any oil, and the car cranks over beautifully. So then we got this car. And currently down here, I just realized a nice little Easter egg on this car. It says SRT right up there in the insulator pad. It says SRT right there. And speaking of Easter eggs, there's another one right over here. There's a tiny little Challenger right there on the windshield. That's pretty sick. But the mini scares were not over yet. We found more damage on this car that worried us even more. So after we check the oil, we go ahead and we look down here, and we just see oil covered everywhere through the entire frame rail. And then we even see the control arm popped out, so we knew that there was suspension damage that we didn't know before, and that the subframe might be damaged. So we were really happy after the engine turned over and everything, but we did not know still where the oil went. We were thinking maybe the block could have been cracked, maybe the oil pan's loose, maybe someone took the filters out or took out the drain bolt. We didn't know at all. But then I did some research and I figured out something. So what I figured out is that this reservoir right here is for the supercharger, and it's cooled by this radiator. And then I figured out that this reservoir is for the engine, which is cooled by this radiator. And then obviously this one up here is the condenser, and then this is the power steering cooler. So I had no idea where the oil went until I figured out that over here was the oil cooler attached to this line. So that's where all the oil went. I thought that this was just another auxiliary radiator to cool the engine or the supercharger. Turns out it's an oil cooler. So after I figured all that stuff out, we felt a lot better about getting this car, so then we got it. The main reason to why we wanted to go look at this car in the auction is that if you just look at it from here, it looks like it's been underwater. It literally looks flooded. The whole thing is covered in a nice thick layer of dirt everywhere, but luckily it was just dust because we checked everything and no fluids had water in it. Everything was dry. Nothing was dingy or smelt bad, so we were super happy about that, and that's why we went ahead and we looked at this car on the lot. And then another fun fact I figured out about this car is that this car was actually taken care of really well. So starting off over here, this is a 2016 model year. However, these green belts, they came out in 2019. So I know that the previous owner really cared about the car because he went ahead and he even serviced out the belts. Not only did he do the belts, but he put some brand new tires on it. These things have a lot of tread on them, even in the rear. Right here in the rear, there's tons of tread still on these tires, so that's pretty good. He probably didn't even do many burnouts in these. And then, of course, he did put an aftermarket cold air on this, so I'm pretty sure that supercharger just screams. I cannot wait to hear that supercharger. And the second thing we went ahead and looked at the auction was for any major frame damage. And to my surprise, just looking around at these edges and looking under the car and everything, it looks like that there is no frame damage behind this apron, so that's super good. And there's also no frame damage around the door, so it's just up here on the A-pillar. One more thing that's damaged is this rim and this tire. So those look fine though, because it looks like it just shaved the front. The back of the wheel still looks round, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine around the bead. This obviously needs to get replaced later, but for now it does have a lot of meat there, so I'm pretty sure the tire will be fine as for now. But guys, I'm super excited for this build. It's going to be so amazing to do. And that's just a totally different type of engine. I've never dealt with a car with a supercharger. I've done a few like built-in turbochargers on some EcoBoosts and stuff like that Expedition. But this is something so crazy. So let's go ahead. Let's get this car looking right with the full interior detail. Alright guys, so this interior is fully cleaned and it looks and smells amazing. I thought it was going to be pretty hard to clean out this Alcantara, but luckily it was just a minor dust on the surface of it and I was able to bring all the softness back to it. The center console looks absolutely amazing. The steering wheel came out so good. The carpets look great. The back seats look brand new. The door panels, these were a mess, but they look really good. I even got the little detail stripes in there from the vacuum. The speaker grills came out so good. I love that air vent right there with the SRT. It looks good. The odometer is nice and shiny. Everything looks absolutely amazing on this car, and the interior looks good. And on the driver's side here, take a look at all this. It all looks super amazing. The pedals, the carpets, everything. And I even found a little modification that the old owner did. He actually put some like striping around this because I could tell like in some areas it's coming off. I'm pretty sure this is aftermarket. It looks like it used to be sticky and it just sticks on right there, but that actually looks really good. It's very tasteful. I like that. But yeah, guys, now that the interior is clean, we can start working on the exterior and we can also start taking apart the interior. But guys, all the other stuff is going to be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. And if you just came across my channel, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of epic content coming soon. But guys, that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys like this new build. The BMW and the Camaro are hopefully going to come up to a wrap soon. And this one also doesn't have much work to it, so it'll be done soon, I think. If you guys are excited for this build, be sure to like the video. But guys, that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.